Hey guys, Josh here, and EA just re-released The Sims 1 for Windows 10 and 11 as a celebration of its 25th anniversary. A lot of you might be playing it for the first time or revisiting it after several years, and especially compared to The Sims 4, this game is difficult and different in so many ways. So in this video, I'll be going over some basic tips and tricks that should help make your experience with the original life simulation game a bit more manageable. But before we can jump into the actual game, unfortunately right now the state of this re-release is a bit rough. Despite being labeled as a re-release for Windows 10 and 11, many are having issues to launch the game, and those who can launch it have to play around to get the resolution to look somewhat right. Pressing Alt and Enter is supposed to rescale the game so you can get it to look good on your monitor. Feel free to try it, but for me it only flips between full screen and windowed mode without fixing anything. By default, the UI is so small that I can barely see anything, and for now the only workaround I found was to change the resolution of my monitor to 1280 by 720 every single time I want to play. Even after doing that, the neighborhood and create a sim screens are still minuscule. This is clearly not ideal and kind of defeats the purpose of a modern re-release in my opinion, but the actual content of the game is the same, and EA has announced that they are working on the fix. Once the game is running, you can either select an existing household or create your own family, and I would recommend starting small, like 1 or 2 Sims if it's your first time, as you'll quickly see that managing their needs can be very demanding, and that's what you'll be spending most of your time doing. They don't have as much autonomy as in The Sims 4, so your micromanagement skills will be put to the test. But before sending your hungry Sims to the kitchen, we need to talk about safety. Make sure whoever cooks has 1 or ideally 2 cooking skill points. You can buy a bookshelf and have them study cooking for a bit, it won't take too long and will greatly reduce the risk of fire. Even if you do have a few cooking skill points, buy a smoke detector and put it near your stove so the firefighters will come automatically if there's a fire. Also, make sure there is a phone in your house so you can call if a fire starts in a room with no smoke detector. And you will need it to hire a maid, which will save you so much time, as well as a gardener, because if you have plants, whether they're indoors or outdoors, they will need to be watered regularly. Both of these services cost 10 simoleons per hour, and I would recommend hiring them as soon as you can afford it. Another important thing to keep your home nice and safe is the burglar alarm. Place one in all of your entrances. They will ring as soon as a burglar enters the room, or if you want more efficiency, you can put them on the exterior walls of your house, where they will cover a 5-tile radius and give a better chance for the police to make it in time. Keep in mind, the buy mode will not be accessible whenever an incident happens on your lot, so make sure that you get all of these essentials early. Unfortunately, there is no search feature in The Sims 1's buy mode. It can be hard to find certain things at first, but if it helps, you can click on buy mode a second time or press F2 to categorize things by rooms instead of functions. While you're there, you might be interested in the Stray Away Pet Prevention System, which can be found in Outside Furniture and Decorative. If you play for more than a few minutes, you will notice a ton of stray cats and dogs. You can adopt them if you'd like, but they can get annoying. So if you put that sign on your lawn, as soon as pets see it, they will just walk away. You will still have skunks and raccoons causing trouble from time to time, but things won't be nearly as chaotic. Now that you have the most important furniture down, it's time to look for a job. Every day, there's a newspaper with one job offer, just one. As a general rule, careers that have a high paying starting point won't pay much once you're at the top, and vice versa. So for example, military starts at 250 per day, but only gets you 650 at the top. With a music career, on the other hand, you start at 90 per day, which is really not much, but you end up at 1,400. You can make your search for a job easier if you have a computer, which offers 3 job offers per day. Computers are expensive, but if you buy something and sell it back on the same day before midnight, you will get the full value back. Some might consider this cheating, but you could buy a computer and sell it once your job hunting is done. Buy a bookshelf and sell it once you know how to cook. You have lots of options. While most items will decrease in value after midnight, some of them, like this Japanese wall fan, will become more valuable over time. It is a bit hit or miss with other art pieces, so don't go crazy buying too many things, but it can be worth playing around to see what gains value or not. If you find the game too difficult and you don't mind a little bit of cheating, here's something for you. By pressing Ctrl, Shift, and C on your keyboard, this text box will appear in the top left corner of your screen. You can type in Rosebud and press Enter for 1,000 simoleons. Then, if you add a semicolon and an exclamation mark, you'll get 2,000, and you can keep adding these two characters multiple times for more and more money. But there are ways to earn money easily without cheating and without even having to go to work. If you've played any Sims game, you most likely know that you can use an easel to make and sell paintings, which can give you a pretty good extra income. There are also various stations to make stuff like cans, butter, honey, but the best ones might be those stables to craft gnomes and gargoyles. You won't make too much at first, but as you raise your mechanical skill, you will be able to make over 1,000 simoleons faster than you would at most jobs. If a traditional job sounds more appealing to you, be very careful not to miss the car pool. It will wait for about an hour in front of your house, and when it's gone, you miss work for that day, and if that happens 2 days in a row, you're fired. Sometimes, however, you might need a break because there are no days of the week in The Sims 1, no holidays, which means you have no proper days off and you're just meant to work every single day for the rest of your life. In that case, what you can do is skip one day, go back to work the next day, skip one day again, and as long as you never miss 2 days in a row, you will keep your job. This tip does not work in real life. Another way to get some time for yourself is by going out. You can call a cab and go to the old town, downtown, studio town, anywhere you want, and while you're away, time at your house will pause. So let's say it's 1 p.m., you go spend 2 days on vacation, you come back home, it's still going to be 1 p.m. Just remember that you will have to manage the needs of whichever sim that's going out, so if everything gets in the red, you might struggle a bit when returning home. Back home means back to reality, and to get promoted at work at one point, you will have to do some networking. The Job tab will show you how many friends you need, and next to your money in the bottom left corner, you can see how many friends you currently have. Friends are hard to make in this game as friendships decay extremely quickly. Whenever you have some free time between 6 a.m. and midnight, don't call them in the middle of the night, talk with friends over the phone, invite them over, or go out where time will stop to work on your relationships. Luckily, the friends that count towards your promotion actually include all of your family friends. So that's when playing with two Sims gets interesting. You can have one Sim who goes to work and the other one who stays at home and makes friends. Trust me, when you need over 10 friends for a promotion, having a small family will help a ton. If you want to expand your family even more, getting two Sims of the opposite gender to kiss if they're living together can trigger a prompt asking if you'd like a baby. You may also randomly receive a phone call offering to adopt, which is possible no matter the gender of your Sims. Before you get too excited though, babies require a lot of attention, and once they grow into a child, you'll be stuck with an extra Sim to manage, and in most cases, they will have to go to school for the rest of their life as aging is not really a thing in The Sims 1. There is one workaround, however, thanks to the Making Magic expansion pack and the Age of Instant charm. Here's the easiest way to obtain it. When you arrive on a lot for the first time, this mystery man will drop a box with the essentials to start making magic. Open it up and interact with the cardboard box to grab all of the ingredients. Now, with an adult Sim, jump down this hole and go to Vernon's Vault, where there is a lot to do, but what we're looking for is to perform on this stage to obtain magic coins. The higher your logic skill, the easier it will be, and once you have at least 42 magic coins, buy 2 dragon scales from this vampire, and if you somehow no longer have the toadstool from the magic box, buy one from this guy for 9 magic coins. You now have all of the ingredients, but they're in an adult's inventory and only children can create the charm. So buy the bookshelf of dimensional storage, activate the switch and add to it all of your ingredients. Then with the child, grab the ingredients from the bookshelf, buy the Neo-Magical Newt, in it will be a magic wand, take it, add the toadstool, the 2 dragon scales and make magic. After that, you'll be able to use the charm, which if everything goes right, will turn your child into an adult. But if your Sim is in a bad mood, or if their grade at school is too low, they will revert back to being a baby, so be careful. If you do manage to turn them into an adult, you won't be able to easily split up the household like you can in newer games. You would have to play with another household, and then get that Sim to move in with you, so just keep that in mind. I know that was a lot of information. If you're not ready for the rabbit hole that is making magic, don't worry. You can safely delete all of the stuff Mystery Man brings to you. You'll be able to find them back in the buy mode, but first, just make sure you add the free ingredients to your inventory. If you'd like to experience some magic in a simpler way, one fun item you can try is the Genie Lamp. Once a day, you can clean it, and a genie will ask you to choose between two wishes, each one having a chance to either lead to something good or something bad. You can also purchase the chemistry set to create potions with surprising effects. But the beauty of this game is discovering all of these fun things by yourself, so I won't say too much, and I hope you enjoy The Sims 1. It is an old game, but it's full of charm, and its playstyle is so different from anything else in the series, which makes it worth playing if you want a challenging, fast-paced life sim. So these are just a few beginner tips that should help you getting started. We barely scratched the surface, especially when we think about all of the expansion packs, but if you have any tips, feel free to leave them in the comments. Let me know what you think of this game, if you have any fun memories with it, or if it's your first time playing, and I'll see you all in the next video.